let's make an easy lunch together. Starting off by placing half of a cup of cottage cheese onto a clean cutting board, adding some chives to it, and then half of an avocado, a little bit of garlic powder, some onion powder, some salt, pepper, lemon juice, just a sprinkle, and some chicken. So now we're going to mix everything up. I prefer having a little bit of texture in there still, so this is how I'm combining everything. And now we're moving on to step number 2. I have a wrap here, and now I'm going to add all the toppings. Add a little bit of quinoa, then the mix that we just made, some black beans, corn, lettuce. And then to top it off, I'm going to add a bit of cilantro. And then I'm going to fold the wrap. Here we have wrap number 1. Now, if you have a little bit of time, you can toast this one in the pan, which is exactly what I'm going to do. And here is the finished product. And this is what they look like from the inside. And you can change up any of the toppings, but I personally really appreciate the fresh and colder ingredients together with the warm wrap. Cheers. I cannot believe that I'm ending week 3 of my 20-week bulk today, meaning that week 4 starts tomorrow, which is actually the start of my second phase of my bulking journey. So I want to explain exactly what that means. I switch my routine every 3 or 4 weeks. So it kind of depends on the experience level that you have, because I'm following the Hourglass program in my app. For the advanced level, I prefer to change things after 3 or 4 weeks. Kind of depends how far along you are in those 20 weeks. So for me, now that I'm entering week 4, everything will be changed. The reason why I periodize things and I have such good results with it is what you want to do when it comes to a bulking journey or training in general. If your goal is to keep getting results, then you need to make sure that you apply progressive overload to your training, right? So you need to make sure that you give your body a reason to keep needing to adapt to the training stimulus. Because if there's no need for your body to change, then it won't change. It will just stay exactly as it is because that's what your body prefers. So that's not what we want, because we want to keep getting results. We want to keep getting stronger, fitter, more muscular, whatever your goal might be. If you want to keep growing, then you have to keep giving your body a reason to grow. That's like one part of the equation. The second part of the equation is that you need to make sure that you provide your body with the right amount of nutrients in order to be able to grow, right? Because when I train and I'm like, hey, I want to become stronger and I'm doing my best, but I don't give my body the nutrition it needs in order to keep growing, then it also can't grow. So that's why I'm doing this bulking journey. Bulking journey meaning I train really hard in the gym, I push myself, I follow a structured program, and then I make sure that I eat enough next to it, and I definitely make sure that I eat enough protein, because protein are the building blocks of your muscles. So your muscles just need it in order to keep growing. Anyway, back to periodization. There are different styles of periodizing. And the reason why you want to periodize is periodizing means that you tweak the training variables over time in order to strategically ensure that you keep getting results and that you won't overtrain. Because those two are things that can come up whenever you want to keep doing the same thing over and over again. Because think about it. If I'm doing a Romanian deadlift, I do, let's say, 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. I'm able to push myself, I'm able to keep training harder, I'm able to increase the weights. Everything is going really well until it is not. Until I hit a point where it's like I just can't lift any heavier, I'm kind of stuck. You hit a plateau with that exercise. It happens, it's fine. What you can do is basically do 2 things, right? So you hit an obstacle in life or in training. Either you try to push through it, but you're stuck and it's like, very annoying. Or what you can do is take a shortcut, like go around it. That's kind of what periodization is. So instead of keep doing those 10 to 12 reps over and over again and you're stuck, you try something else, and then later on when you come back to those 10 to 12 reps, you'll notice, if you do everything correctly, that you're able to push through that previous plateau that you hit. It also makes sure that you don't actually overtrain, because with periodization, what often happens is that you also introduce periods of reduced volume, which will then, for example, help, or like with lower intensity, with that, which will help for recovery. That's why we love periodization. There are different ways of doing it. The most standard one is linear periodization, which is where you will, in a linear way, scale down or scale up the intensity of your training and the volume of your training. I like to do this one with my beginner lifters. So for example, what you would do is, let's say your cycle is a month, then you would have, let's say, 10 to 12 reps for your A series for a month, and then after that month, after those 4 weeks, you'll, for example, scale down in the A series in the reps. So instead of 10 to 12, you'll now do 8 to 10 reps, and then you'll slowly reduce volume, make it a little bit more intense, and maybe the cycle after you'll do the same thing, and maybe the cycle after that, what you'll do is you'll go back to those 10 to 12 reps, but then you'll increase the total volume. So you'll do more volume than you did with the first cycle for that lifter. That's linear periodization. Then we also have something that is called, for example, undulating periodization, or even daily undulating periodization. And that is where you don't go in a linear fashion, but you will kind of go in waves with your volume and your intensity. You can do this on a monthly basis, a weekly basis, a daily basis, like whatever you prefer. But that is a style of periodizing that I really like to apply for my intermediate and for my advanced lifters. I am now doing the daily undulating periodization style, which means that I have my heavy days, I have my moderate days, and I have my light lifting days, as you'll know from me doing the workout. So for example, I have a heavy session for legs now, and I have a light session for legs now, I believe. That's the beauty of following a structured program. You just have to show up and do the program and don't do the thinking, because the thinking is done before, maybe even by someone else. So that is the way of doing periodizing. So quick recap of the first 3 weeks of my bulk. I've been really enjoying this journey so far. I've been really able to increase my lifts. I have almost increased everything that I'm doing, which is so exciting when you're training. The only thing that I really want to try today is to do the Arnold press with 16 kgs, because I've only been able to lift the 14 kgs. So that's what we're trying today. I'm not sure if, I mean, obviously you have to be in the right headspace, right? When you're training, you have to believe in yourself that you're strong, that you can do it. But I am not really sure if I can, but we'll see in a bit. But the only thing that wasn't the best for my workouts this week, because I'm on my cycle, I am not feeling the strongest. Perfect time to try a PB for my Arnold press, I would say. Finished my pre-workout, and now it is time to try the Arnold press. One of the things that has been very interesting to me is that I have been pretty sore after every single session that I've been doing so far during my bulk. And I know that I previously said that soreness is not an indicator for muscle growth, meaning that it doesn't mean that if you're sore that your muscles will grow, and if you're not sore that your muscles won't grow. However, usually it's an indicator that you've been exposing yourself to new or increased training stimulus, right? So, for example, if you're doing a movement that you haven't done before, you'll most likely be sore the next day. And for me, experiencing soreness still, because if you're consistent with training, you won't experience soreness anymore. It will fade away, your body is used to it, and it's much easier for you to handle it. So usually I don't get sore after every single session, only when I do something that I haven't done before. But now with my bulk, I've been sore after every single session, and not really sore to the extent where I cannot walk or get up anymore. But I have been sore to the extent where I just feel that I've been training and I feel this like tension all over. And I mean, it's not been hindering me or anything. It hasn't been like intense. It's just been like a low level of soreness. But it does show me that I've been training extra hard during this bulk, because probably what I've been doing is just exposing myself to an increased training stimulus every single session, and therefore I have been sore every single session. And that's been interesting. So I really hope that that kind of does show that I am making a lot of progress, which I have, because obviously like my reps and stuff have gone up and my strength has gone up, but still, I really hope that if I can continue it like this, that this will be my best bulk yet. We'll see. Next exercise that I'm doing is a bent over barbell row. I'm doing a supinated grip. So palms up, pulling it towards my belly button, trying to keep my upper body limitless, still, motionless, whatever. Don't use any momentum with your upper body. Try to keep it still. Row against your belly button. That's basically it. I am fully aware that the pasta shape is a bit questionable, but we're cooking it for a couple of minutes until it is done. And then I'm going to mix up my roasted veggies with some other ingredients to create a sauce, heat everything up for a second, and then top it with some chicken for some added protein. Added the vegetables to a blender, and then I'm going to add some cheese. This is buffalo mozzarella cheese. Just a couple. Basil. Now we're going to mix it up. And our final step is to heat up the sauce. Could I save myself 30 plus minutes if I just would have gotten store-bought pasta, which I even have in the cupboards here? Yes, absolutely. But this is the beauty of trying new things. It's fun. It's a hobby. So here we have the pasta, and I hid some chicken underneath because I know technically we're not allowed to have chicken with the pasta. I don't think that's how the Italians intended it to be. So I want to do my best to respect that, but also respect the gains simultaneously, which is why I hid it. This is 10 out of 10. I know I always give 10s, but that's because I often trial the recipes before I film them to make sure that they're actually 10 out of 10. I think this is also great if you have kids that don't want to eat vegetables. Just blend them up and then tell them it's ketchup. They probably don't know how ketchup is made.